Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't know how many people are paying attention to the news, but if you're wondering why I got Kanye smiling up here, because he is worthy of an apology, especially by black people, because he could say, I told you so. And what is the I told you so? There has been weird stuff going on with the juice all over the United States. And when he was telling you who's running hip hop, he's not saying that out of hyperbole. He is in hip hop. This is an eyewitness statement. All right. But all you people, especially the black people that was saying that he's crazy, they want you to think that to cover up the crazy stuff that they're doing in the real world. Well, some of that stuff has come to light in New Jersey. I don't know how many people are paying attention to it, all right, but the juice, along with Democrat operatives, probably some Republicans in there, but when we're talking about New Jersey top politics, we're talking about Democrats. Um, that the political wing, along with the juice, is was involved in bodies harvesting and snatching all over the world. Okay, when I say that Kanye and Kyrie should get an apology for everybody that tried to block them, banish them, and all the rest of that stuff, the same ones that's doing that, what do you have to say about this? All Kyrie did was post a video on his Twitter about information about where we, the Afro people in the United States, really came from. All right. Oh, but this stuff is sick and deep. And so before we get into it, let me greet everybody real quick. Guten Hardugu dog. Ola oi to the bane. Vasas los. Bonjour, mes amis. Kerubawa ni konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama. Sani bonani. Jumbo herbarigani. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Kamusta ka. Kamusta po kayo. And talafa lava soy fua. All right. So let me also remind you, my donation link is in the description box along with my PayPal me, and my email address will be in the description box. All right. You can find me on TikTok as well as Reluctant Nabi, all one word. Okay. And so if you would like to support this channel and what it's doing in the community, my Cash App and PayPal me is in the description box. But before you donate to anyone, you check your family, yourself first. You make sure all your stuff is in order. Then you can reach out and do that. Now, let's get into the news, y'all. Y'all got to see this and pay attention to what's going on, because everything that people thought was black hyperbole, and myth, hearsay, and stuff is coming to fruition. There has been an arrest. All the body snatching that black people have been talking about, all the harvesting of organs that black people were talking about. Oh, they weren't just talking off the side of their necks, apparently. All right. So here we go. Take a look at this. Okay, everybody. So before I let this clip play out, I want to know if Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal going to have a comment on the people that did the news for this, because the news media reporting on this bust of such a heinous criminal activity that has gone just outside of New Jersey. This is a worldwide thing, even in Jerusalem, affecting things even in Jerusalem. I wonder if they're going to call the media out for reporting on this as anti-Semitic, right? Especially when they call it anti-Shemitic or anti-Semitic, when descendants of Shem, the Shemitic people, not the Semitic people, but the Shemitic people, are telling you that this stuff is going on. Or they just post knowledge of self in a tweet. I wonder what they're going to say about this story. All right, now pay attention to this story.
And the politicians willingly put themselves up for sale. Hundreds of thousands in bribes were paid.
In a massive sweep, the Fed shaming well-known politicians, arresting them, now facing serious charges, the result of a probe into corruption, scheming, taking bribes, caught on video and audio tape. Secaucus Mayor Dennis Elwell leaving federal court tonight, and newly elected Hoboken Mayor Peter Camerano tonight leaving the talking to his attorney.
Mayor Camerano intends to plead innocent to these charges because he is innocent of these charges.
Also arrested, Richfield Mayor Anthony Suarez, Jersey City's Deputy Mayor Leona Baldini, State Assemblyman Daniel Van Pelt, State Assemblyman L. Harvey Smith, just to name a few of the 29 public officials disgraced tonight.
For these defendants, corruption was a way of life. They existed in an ethics-free zone, and they exploited giant loopholes in the state's campaign contribution rules.
Following the major corruption bust, New Jersey's Community Affairs Commissioner Joseph Doria resigning, but he has not been charged.
The scope of corruption that has been unmasked today is simply beyond any pale. It's outrageous.
In the multi-tiered probe, the international money laundering investigation nabbing, cuffing rabbis from New Jersey to Brooklyn, who the feds say acting as crime bosses, a criminal network that operated from the U.S. to Israel. The FBI says laundering tens of millions of dollars through charities controlled by rabbis in the metropolitan area. We're even told one defendant got somebody to donate a kidney for 10 grand and then sold the kidney for $160,000.
It is about crime, corruption, it is about arrogance, it is about a shocking betrayal of the public trust.
Solomon Dweck was a Fed's informant, a real estate developer in Monmouth County, New Jersey, who 3 years ago was charged with scheming to defraud a bank out of $50 million. Now working with the Feds, we're told successfully bribing the accused, who were rounded up today. And tonight, the Garden State's reputation taking yet another tarnishing hit.
New Jersey's corruption problem is one of the worst, if not the worst, in the nation. Corruption is not only pervasive, it has become ingrained in New Jersey's political culture.
So the bottom line is this. Not only has Kanye been trying to warn us about these things, but a lot of Afro people have been trying to warn us about these things going on by these people at the highest level. All right, when we say principalities and spiritual wickedness and darkness and rulers in high places, okay, hey, y'all got to get an understanding. And so the sad part to all of this is this, that we need to stop calling out our brothers when they're trying to warn us of such wickedness that's going on right under our noses. There are things that these billionaires and millionaires are seeing because of the status of their money. They are invited to or have to go to these things, and they see these things, and because this dude don't have skeletons in his closet, and no, he didn't help them do his mom, but now that he's figured out what's kind of happened, yeah, he's off the hinges in anger, but he is sober-minded in what he is saying. And now all the stuff that he's saying is going on. Now, if you start looking at the news, if you look at the history of the juice, the money behind slavery, who started the Triple K, who funded Birth of a Nation. You know that movie that reinvigorated the Triple K, the White Sheep Brotherhood. Okay, so one helped start the White Sheep Brotherhood because he was the vice president of the South when they wanted to fight the Union to maintain slavery. Okay, so the White Sheep Brotherhood. Now, another thing I want y'all to understand, although it was about slavery, all right, it was more about control in that institution, either as a nation or North and South. All right, when Lincoln wrote the Emancipation Proclamation. Understand, the Emancipation Proclamation, go back and look at it, it freed the slaves in the South, not the slaves in the North. And I did a video a while back. There was a while back. There was a lot of slaves in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Who do you think was owning the slaves in New York? If you guess the juice. Who do you think that funded all these money-back organisms like the insurance companies and the banks that made all this possible? Again, primarily the juice. All right? And so when we see this stuff play out in the media, start to understand that these people like Cat Williams and Kanye that see these things and have a conscience to speak on it, but don't know if they could say anything to BP because our mentalities has been warped to think like women. You know that we don't want to be told the truth. We don't want to be told anything about ourselves, and we don't want to be held accountable for our actions. Or we want to live in a blind, sublime, comforted world where we can see the destruction, but so long as it don't get us and get our future generation, we don't care. That's the mentality that has to go. Y'all, this is getting real. With that said, I'm out.